Hey guys, welcome to the Shermichael Singleton Show. I'm your host, Shermichael Singleton. And why is securing our border not just a matter of politics, but of national identity, economic security, and law and order? A nation without borders is not a nation at all. It's an idea left to the winds, whichever direction the winds blow. It's an abstraction awaiting its dissolution. Yet in the US, as in much of the West, to be quite frank, we see a growing chorus from the left, politicians, academics, media elites, who insist that the borders are, at best, a mere inconvenience, and at worst, a moral transgression. They tell us that to defend one's border is to commit an act of exclusion, as though exclusion itself were an evil rather than a necessity of civilization. It is, I think, a sign of our age's peculiar disorientation that such ideas have taken root, but you can blame that on progressivism. Borders are the foundation of law and order, the boundary of sovereignty, the dividing line between chaos and civilization. I prefer to live in a civilized society versus a chaotic one. I think you do as well. Yet the political establishment, most notably the Democratic Party and its faithful acolytes in the media, they dismiss concerns about illegal immigration as xenophobic. They call you racist. They call you bigoted. A scare tactic to getting you to feel bad about your position so that you fall in line and agree with them. They fail to understand that the issue at hand is not one of race, but of responsibility, not one of cruelty, but of coherence. The progressive mindset, so often intoxicated by its own rhetoric, assumes that national identity is an archaic relic, a dusty remnant of the past to be discarded in favor of a borderless utopia. But utopias don't exist. Perfection doesn't exist. It is a vision unmoored from reality. America has also always been a nation of laws. Immigration in a lawful and orderly manner is the means by which a nation grows stronger, not disorder. Illegal immigration, by contrast, is the means by which a nation is hollowed from within. And maybe that's the objective and goals from some of those on the left. Consider this paradox. Progressives insist that America is a place of boundless opportunity, yet they advocate for policies that erode the very foundations of that opportunity. They claim to champion the working class Joe, yet they undermine the wages and job prospects of those very workers by allowing an unregulated influx of cheap labor. They invoke justice, yet they disregard the first principle of justice, that law must be upheld and applied fairly to all. It is an iron law of human affairs that disorder begets more disorder. When a nation neglects its own borders, it invites lawlessness, not merely in the form of illegal crossings, but in the border erosion of social trust. And what is a nation if not an intricate web of trust? Trust that laws will be enforced, that citizens will not be abandoned, that those who contribute will not be displaced by those who disregard the law. The argument for a stronger border is not an argument against compassion. We're all compassionate people. But immigration is not a right for anyone anywhere in the world to come into the United States of America when they so choose. It's a privilege that we, the citizens of this country, grant when it's in our best interest. On the contrary, it is an argument for responsibility. True compassion does not ignore the rule of law, it upholds it. True compassion does not invite lawlessness, it prevents it. So we must ask, what of those who wait in line, who respect America's legal process, who seek to contribute to their adopted homeland? What of them? Do they not deserve a fair and orderly system? Are they not wronged when illegal entrants are granted de facto amnesty while they remain in bureaucratic limbo? A government that refuses to enforce its own immigration laws sends a clear message that lawbreaking is tolerated, the citizenship is devalued, and the obligations of the state to its people are negotiable. And then these principles are undermined. So too is the fabric of that nation. And that's what we're seeing in our own country. This is not a radical position. It is, in fact, the common sense view of civilized societies throughout history. Even the ancient Greeks understood the necessity for defining citizenship. The Romans secured their own borders, not as an act of exclusion, but as a means of preserving order. Even the most open societies have recognized the need for regulated entry, for a nation is not a mere collection of individuals, but a home, a place where laws, tradition, and common bonds shape the destiny of those collective people. America stands at a crossroads. It may choose the discipline of law, or we may embrace the illusion of open borders, but it cannot choose both.